also to respond to some of the issues raised against our country. Mr. Speaker, respected colleagues, Nigeria have a lot in common with all the countries that we share border with. There may be not much difference between the person living in Katsina, GBA axis, and the person living along the side of Niger. Is it a religion, is it a language he speaks, or the culture and tradition? The same borders with the person living in Togo. We have Yorubas in Togo, we have Yorubas in Cotonou, and I want to believe that we are one member nation. Respected colleagues, what may have been done out to you, I want to say, may not be the correct perspective. And I have my answers to give, after which I will request you to kindly avail Sadiq to throw more light. First, we have a protocol. The protocol is very clear. No country in the ECOWAS sub-region is allowed to export into another country what it does not produce. Meaning, by our own actions, we want to be self-sufficient. We do not want to be dumping grounds. We want to encourage production. And we cannot be self-serving any longer at this time to what they call the superpowers of the nation, of the world. They will produce, have it stale for a very long period of time. After a while, they use our conduit to take to our own countries. This is not acceptable to Nigeria, and I believe, as good citizens and MPs, we should encourage our people to be productive. The population we have in this country should not just be a number in size, but a number that can be helpful to the nation of Africa and to the world. Mr. Speaker, respected colleagues, I want to beg of you to bring understanding to this matter. Mr. Speaker, respected colleagues, Nigeria has paid its dues and still pays its dues. We have been there for our neighbors. I'm saddened by the comments of some of our colleagues here. We have been virtually in every country in terms of need to help, even by the contribution. That somebody will look at a contribution of, say, $600 million, how many $100 million? $59 million as no money, as no contribution, as not being sensitive. I think that is not unfair. That's being unfair to our country. I had the comment of one of our officers who said, the other one that is lacking, I will explain to you, it has to do with our budgeting system, which we are now battling to change the narration from the period of undetermined time or periods to January to December. And the presenter did mention why this contribution wasn't paid. Mr. Speaker, respected colleagues, I want to say from the close of this border, Nigeria have started seeing some changes in terms of security advantages. These borders have not just been used for the purpose of conduit. And I am happy one of the MPs from the country he is coming from that were complaining said they are packaging, they are using our people. Should you use our people for crime? Is it allowed? Are we not supposed to be brother keepers? Are we not supposed to stop where we see? And that is why Nigeria, before taking the step it took, said, okay, we have a challenge. This is what we want to do. We have started developing agriculture in our country. We also want to be self-sufficient. Help us stop this thing that we domesticated in all our countries, that we should not allow other people to come cross our border with things we do not produce. Now, take the advantage. Have vehicles. Use it for purpose of patrol. But he has confirmed to us that the same people there are the ones who are using Nigerians who are possibly want to make money at the detriment of our own country. To bring in things that I will tell you by confirmation. We have had public hearing in the National Assembly. We were almost taking the same position you are taking. When we came, we had a public hearing. we got to know that some of the rice that were being imported to Nigeria had an expiration period of more than 5 years. Will you give this to your dogs, your country, not your citizens? I don't think that is allowed. I don't think we are here to encourage corruption or to encourage what we have agreed to do collectively, to say no for whatever reason. And I'm saying Nigeria have said this in peace. From the day we close this border, I want to say and confirm to the world that even the insurgents, so-called insurgents, have now been extinct. It has stopped because the same border is where the massive arms are coming through. Yet we have customs. They will package rice in on the top. Inside it, they will put arms and bring it into our country. No country will support that. If we do that to you, I do not think you will accept. But our population, if Nigeria should go into this area, I don't think West Africa can contain us. We need to please bring understanding. Respected colleagues, please, Nigeria will pay its dues and it will continue to pay its dues. And I want to say too, the Nigerians are here, they can confirm some of the human trafficking activity that is taking place. That is the common root. This is what we all agreed to say was termed. There are many people that today they are being returned. Go to Libya. What is the route to Libya? To Italy? The challenge we are facing all over. Where is it coming from? How did you come to this point? We have to face the challenge squarely. And Nigeria didn't say we are closing our border permanently. Close the border, let's check, put structures in place so that we can continue. We didn't say don't bring in legitimate items. Nobody says so. And I want to say that the indicators given by our spokesman who spoke on our behalf are not as a result of trade. Nigerian economy is doing well, it's getting better. And I want to tell you that today in Nigeria we have what is called anchor borrowers. We have states in the south-south, we have states in the southeast, we have states in the north that today are producing rice that is sufficient by the grace of God to feed our nation. And we are going to feed our nation. And by the grace of God, we are going to use the opportunity to also help our countrymen. We are not going to use. You see, the Europeans have for long played on our intelligence. And today it's the same happening. Because the social media, the media are not are their own making. They are not giving out exactly what the country is doing. They are not giving out exactly. You are talking about infrastructure development. I'm saying to you, for the past 15 years or so of democracy, this is the regime that have done much in infrastructure development. And we're doing a lot, and we're going to do a lot for our country. If you talk of one route, check across Nigeria. That's what we call the Great Niger Bridge. Today is about completion. For years, it has not been so. I want to tell you, Lagos Ibadan Expressway, go and see what is happening. The railway that's capping the country. Please, do not be mouthpiece of those who want to bring down the government of Nigeria and Africa. Do not be. And I will challenge you that please cross-check your facts. In the interest of our sovereignty, in the interest of our unity and community, I beg of us to bring sanity into our discussions, that we should respect one another. Somebody said that if the mother says the baby will not sleep, why are you threatening ourselves? We are here as MPs to canvass. It's not by threat that we can get what we want to get. It's not so. That's not the spirit. The spirit is discussion, round table, so that we understand ourselves. We cannot use our size. We cannot use our economy to walk over our Africans. We are known for brothers keepers, and we shall continue to do so. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Countries as echoers of the people. And these legal instruments, Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, is the ETLS. ETLS. ETLS have three components, Mr. Speaker. The first one is about the common customs external tariff, which is meant to protect produce goods in member states. And that is in Article 3 of the revised treaty. The second one, Mr. Speaker, is the reasons for bringing in this ETLS. ETLS. It is to provide easier access to markets in other ECOWAS countries, thereby encouraging local manufacturing outfits to compete favorably with imported products that may be dumped in our market. It is also aimed at encouraging entrepreneurial and economic development in member states. And finally, Mr. Speaker, what the ETLS said, it is an agreement reached to include products originating from the ETLS region. With this legal background, Mr. Speaker, Benin has 11 million population, but you can't believe it. Benin Republic is the 6th largest importer of rice in the world, with 11 million population. Where is that rice that are importing going to? Excuse me.
Yes, no.
In other words,
stop interrupting.
that rice being imported through Benin Republic is coming to Africa's largest market, which is Nigeria, with over 200 million people. Now, if our own purposes and reasons for coming together as a common market is to encourage local production and feed our local markets and compete favorably with imported goods that are dumped in the market, is what ECOWAS is meant for, then I think what is happening now along Nigerian borders is a total negation of the protocol on ETLS. And I think we should put this in the back of our minds. Having said that, Mr. Speaker, I would have loved to take the submissions made by each member of this parliament and address it seriously. But I think that would take us a long time. However, I want us to really understand with Nigeria. Here is a country with over 200 million people, and every day, in one part of the country or another, there are uprisings, and weapons are being used. Brothers and sisters, apart from South Africa and possibly Egypt, there is no country in Africa that produces even a bullet. Bullet! No country, apart from South Africa and Egypt. Now you tell me, if the small and light weapons that are in West Africa and predominantly in Nigeria are here, where did they come from? Obviously, they come not from inside West Africa, they came from outside of West Africa. And as my first deputy speaker has rightly pointed out, we must be our brothers' keepers. We must be our sisters' keepers. There cannot be peace without justice. There cannot be development without peace. And God forbid, if this country, Nigeria, should go to war, there is no country in West Africa that can take us to drink even their water. Drinking water will be a thing of a serious problem in West Africa. So, as rightly pointed out, I wouldn't want to take much of our time, because this issue is clear. We don't need to be sentimental about it. Let me tell you, Mr. Speaker, Nigeria is not the only country that first closed its border in Africa because of insecurity. You remember Sudan closed its border with Libya and the Congo Democratic Republic for security reasons. You remember even our new darling in Africa now, Rwanda, closed its border because of Ebola. And Kenya closed its border with Somalia because of security. This is not the first time. And these issues we have said time and over again, that it is temporary. And as the right honorable speaker, first deputy speaker has pointed out, today in Nigeria you can hardly hear of dangerous incursions by Boko Haram and other renegade groups, just because of 3 weeks of closure of the border. And by the way, Mr. Speaker, we have not closed that border. We are doing security drills in the border. Human beings are not prevented from coming in and going out. Is when we see heavy trailers that come in with rice. Not only the rice, you have a trailer that is carrying 600 bags of rice. Under it, there are over 1,000 arms and ammunition, heavy, coming into Nigeria. Armed robbery, insurgency, religious uprisings, and so many other things. So if you don't help us within a very short time to cleanse the system and ensure that we mop up the arms and then make sure that we put safety valves and safety nets at the borders, then I think the ultimate person who will suffer are our neighbors before Nigeria suffers. So I would like to yield the floor to any other person from Nigeria who may want to add, so that we don't take much time. Thank you.
A été relevé le faible taux d'élection des femmes. Je voudrais dire que pour le chef de l'État, la promotion de la femme est un élément primordial. Les preuves ont été citées dans le texte.
Please listen to your colleague.
Alors, ce n'est pas le chef d'État qui constitue les listes pour chaque parti politique ou les indépendants. Donc, ce qui fait que, depuis 32 ans que le Togo va à une élection locale ou municipale, les gens, les femmes n'étaient pas bien préparés. Nous pensons que le score va être amélioré les années à venir. Pour avancer par rapport aux questions du doyen Police Salé, nous avons parlé d'un projet accès des pauvres aux services financiers du Fonds national pour la finance inclusive. C'est un bon projet. Si on a donné ce nom, c'est parce qu'entre-temps, on avait créé une banque agricole et même les fonctionnaires ont couru là-bas pour aller prendre les fonds. Donc c'était un peu pour empêcher ceux qui ont les moyens d'aller prendre ces fonds. Concernant une question de David, qui nous demande concernant la Constitution, il dit à quand la retraite présidentielle de la famille. Bon, je voulais dire que dans aucun texte, il n'est dit qu'une famille, on n'a jamais limité un mandat au nom de la famille. Le mandat est limité pour un individu et non pour une famille. Et le droit de l'homme, c'est pour tout le monde, y compris le chef de l'État togolais. Et il a son droit en tant que citoyen togolais. Et maintenant, si nous sommes de la CEDEAO et nous prenons la mise en œuvre des tests, avant le Togo n'avait pas limité les mandats, donc il pouvait faire 10 mandats. Et ce n'est pas sa volonté que le mandat vient d'être limité. Si ce n'était pas les autres, on aurait limité ça depuis 2015 ou 2014. Donc la loi qui est actuellement adoptée suite à la révision limite le mandat à 2 et institue le nombre de tours pour l'élection présidentielle à 2. En même temps, cette même loi, comme une loi ne peut pas être rétroactive, elle démarre dès 2020. Donc, effectivement, le compteur est à 0. Mais le chef de l'État est libre de dire qu'il va être candidat quand il ne va pas être candidat parce qu'il est comme tout citoyen togolais. Merci pour cela. Par rapport au taux d'endettement, vous savez, le Togo vient de loin et nous ne pouvons pas nous permettre le luxe de monter les salaires. C'est ça qui a fait que nous respectons, nous sommes en deçà des 35%. Le Togo a mis d'abord sa stratégie sur les infrastructures et sur l'entrepreneuriat, donc permettre aux citoyens de se développer et gagner eux-mêmes les moyens. C'est à partir de 2020 que le Togo va augmenter les salaires et peut-être on peut aller à 33% ou 34%, mais nous allons tenir de respecter, puisque le chef de l'État a déclaré la valorisation de la grille indiciaire à partir de janvier 2020. Donc, attendons de voir ce qui va arriver. Ensuite, je voudrais répondre à l'événement, par rapport aux événements du samedi 23 novembre à Lomé et à Sokodé. Comme vous l'avez appris, c'est une réalité. Le ministre de la Sécurité a fait une conférence de presse. C'est des gens, il y avait des gens qui ont demandé de faire une marche ou bien de faire un meeting d'information. Et brusquement, à 2h et quelques du matin, d'autres se sont levés. Et selon le communiqué du ministre, c'est des gens qui tentaient l'insurrection, puisqu'on a arraché de leurs mains des armes de AK-47 et autres, et des machettes. Donc, cette situation est maîtrisée. Aucun soldat n'est décédé, il y a eu des blessés, mais qui sont soignés ou sont en train d'être soignés. Par rapport à la frontière de Noépé,
Your 5 minutes is finished.